Hey everyone, welcome to this month's Buy It Now auction. What's a Buy It Now auction? Well, what I do is I take 5 items from my collection and I put them up for bid. I will give a rundown on what the item is, I'll show the item front and back, and I'll put down a starting bid as well as saying what the bid increments are. In order to bid, all you have to do is place a comment down below with your bid. Now, if other people are bidding on that, be sure to check back throughout the course of the week. Bidding starts, of course, when this goes live, and bidding is going to end Monday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, so midnight Monday night / Tuesday morning Central Standard Time. All right, now that's how you would bid. Bidding and purchasing is limited to the US and Canada. Sorry, I have to cut costs somewhere because I'm paying for shipping. The price that you bid is the price that you pay. Everything else I'm taking care of. So that is the bid process. Then there is the buy it now portion. Like I said, I will put out a bid and I will also put out the increments. But if you really want the note, you can buy it now. And I will put out a price for the note. So if you choose to buy it now, you can pay for the note right away after I, of course, contact you. And I will send the note out to you right away. Each note, like I said, will have a bid price and a buy it now price. How do you pay? Well, I accept all kinds of different methods of payment. PayPal, Cash App, good old fashioned check, money order. If you've got a different way you want to pay, just get a hold of me and we will work something out. Not a problem. So, what else is there? High bids and buy it now winners, I will contact them and they will send me an email with their shipping address and we will take care of it from there. So let's get started. What do I have this week? Well, I had one of these a few months ago and it went pretty quick, so I figured I'd bring out another one. This is an American Liberty dollar. What this was this was the attempt to actually create currency that was backed by something. This was backed by silver. It's got a number on it here, a serial number on it, and this came out in 2006. You can see series of 2006, and it's based on $20 per ounce of silver. This was supposed to be a $1 bill, and it would take 20 of these, I guess, to get you an ounce of silver or something to that effect. But this did not go over well. Let's see. This is a receipt for $1 of U.S. in exchange for title to 1/20th of a troy ounce of 999 fine silver. And let's see, here's the back. Here's the warehouse receipt terms. So as much as this wanted to be a actual spending dollar, it was simply exchanging a receipt for silver is all this one was. On here were all the rules as to who was paying for the storage cost of all the silver. It is, I don't know if that's actually signed or if that's just printed on there, but it is stamped May 17th, 2006 as the date of issue. So yeah, an interesting piece of history, these American Liberty dollars. You see them every once in a while. I don't know what they're worth. I don't know that there's a book on them, but it's an interesting little piece to add to the collection. I'm going to start the bidding on this at $15, $1 increments, and if someone wants to buy it now, we're just going to do 20. So a nice easy one for you guys. 15 on the bids, 20 for the buy it now. Yeah, not trying to make a ton of money off of this or anything. Just putting out an easy one. I know I've had a lot of expensive stuff in the auctions lately, so we're going to bring it down just a little bit this week. All right, so 15 on the bid, 20 on the buy it now for the $1 Liberty silver note. That's number one. Number two, this is from 1928. This is a $20 note. It is a dark green seal here. 1928 $20 bill Now, the 28s are really cool because instead of having a letter, they actually have the number here. Normally, you're going to see, well, I know this is Chicago. Chicago is 7. Normally, you would see 7777, and you'd see a G right here, just like there's a G to start the serial number. All that is supposed to go together. But in the 1928 version, they use the number instead of the letter. It's the only series that they did that for. This is also the first series that was the small size silver certificates. Prior to this, we had the large size notes. So there's that going for it too. The very first small size $20 note. And like I said, only the 1928 series had the digit there. Here's the back of the note. You can take a look. It's seen a little bit of stuff. It's not crisp uncirculated. It is a circulated note, but it's in decent shape. Does have a pretty good crease going across the middle there. So yeah, it's not mint. I'm not trying to sell it as mint. This is, let's see, the FR number on this is 2050G. And even in a grade 8, I believe, or was it grade 8? No, I think it was grade 20, they said was $60. The bidding on this one is going to be $45. We're going to do $1 increments. And if you wanted to buy it now, that 60 is a good place to go. So we'll just say $60 on the buy it now. 45 on the bids, $1 increments, $60, buy it now. That's number 2, the 1928 $20 Federal Reserve note. Number 3, getting a little older. This is a $100 note from the Confederate States of America. This is a CSA, and this one is the Type 39 $100 bill. You can see the date. It looks like, is it June 17th? 1862 is the year, 1862 on this one. This note is known as either the Milkmaid or the Locomotive. It goes by both names. The Milkmaid, it was what it was initially called, but there is a major difference in trains. There is a Type 39, which this one is, and it shows the steam on the train going straight up. The Type 40 is very similar to this, but the steam is actually diffused. You don't have this cone of white steam here. It just kind of all blends into the background. To me, these are the nicer notes. These are the ones that are much more defined. The Type 40 with the diffused steam kind of have, I don't want to say a counterfeit look to them, but they're just not very defined. The coolest part about this is one of the top 100 notes of all time. It's either number 26 or number 27. I don't remember which. So the $100 note, they are hand-signed on the bottom there. The serial numbers are hand-printed. You can see in the red ink here. And check this out. Interest paid to the 1st of January, 1865 at Savannah. Look at all these different interest payment stamps. And it's got a signature on the back. I mean, that's just cool. Is it John Barstow? I mean, that's just neat. That's pretty cool. Now, the Type 39, on this particular note, these are starting to get hard to find, and because it's a $100 note, there's a lot of interest in this because they were going for under face value for the longest time. We're going to start the bidding out on this one. Like I said, a top 100 note of all time. We're going to start the bidding at $75, and the buy it now price, well, $1 increments, and that's $75. The buy it now price is going to be $100. So $75 on the bid, $1 increments, $100 to buy it now. Like I said, Type 39, one of the top 100, getting tough to find. And this one has all kinds of neat stuff on the back as well. That one is number 3 if you are bidding. Number 4. A lot of you have been waiting for me to put this one up. I recently upgraded mine to a graded version. This was the one that was in my collection. This is a 1975, right there, 1975, $50 Canadian note. This $50 Canadian, if you look real close, it does have a light centerfold, okay? Other than that, it's pretty good. And the corner's a little rounded, just not quite razor sharp on the corners. I bet you this is a 45-50 without a problem. Anyway, $50 Canadian note from 1975. I was always floored by the amount of color here. And it's not just yellows, reds, and blues. You got the greens in here as well. I mean, just an amazing note when you look at the amount of stuff that they put onto this note. But that's not what makes this note cool. What makes this note cool? This side. Check that out. When you think of all the different colors and all the different printing processes that had to go right to make this picture come out, that's pretty impressive. And then to think they did this on currency and had to repeat it millions and millions of times, I don't know what else to say. One of the coolest notes you're going to see, the $50 Canadian note. These also are fairly tough to find. The thing is $50 bills are not spent. So because they're not spent, think about it. When's the last time you had a 50? You know, how many places do you go to that don't accept $50 bills? If you have a $100 bill and you break it, odds are you're going to get 20s, because if you have a 50, you're going to have trouble breaking that as well. So $50 notes aren't heavily printed, and that makes them more collectible. And you take a 50 and you put an image like that on it, I mean, the note sells itself. I am going to go $75 on the bid, $1 increments. And if you want to buy this one, buy it now. You can buy it now for $100. That is the 1975 $50 Canadian note. Number 4, if you're bidding. And finally this week, number 5, I think this might be the first graded note that I actually put up for bid. Don't get too excited, it's only graded a 30. But it is a graded note. It is a 1995 $1 Federal Reserve note. You can see graded very fine 30. And if you look, partial offset printing error back to face. Check that out. I mean, that is a very, very thorough, deep printed error. That's really impressive. Okay, and if you look at the back, of course, is normal. It does say on here, minor foreign substance. I've looked it over, and I can't find anything. So, I mean, it got graded that way, so I'm sure there is something there, but I have no idea what they're referring to. But what is this? Okay, a partial offset printing error is when they start the printing press before paper is put in. And then what happens is a portion of the print goes on the actual back plate. Then when they put the paper in, that is then transferred onto the paper. So this was printed this way, okay? You have this particular image on the plate. And here's your back plate. Here's where the image is, if it would be on my fingertips here. And because there's no paper, this comes down and prints on the back plate. So now you have a portion of the image on the back plate. Then the paper comes through to receive the actual image. But since there's part of the image on the back plate, that would go onto the front of the note. I hope that was a clear enough explanation. Now, a lot of times you just see a thin sliver. This one's pretty thick. Sometimes you do get to see the entire one, and the more you see, the more it's worth, obviously. This one, like I said, this is cool because it's graded, which means you know it's real. Whenever you're dealing with errors, if you have any doubt at all when it comes to buying errors, only buy errors that are graded. That way, that removes all doubt. You know it's real. Yes, you can buy raw notes a lot cheaper, but you're taking the risk that it is or isn't real, and that's why you're getting it cheaper. Once the note's been graded, it's not that it's worth more. Condition dictates value, but you do get the peace of mind of knowing it's legit, okay? I hope that makes sense to a lot of you guys. I mean, you wouldn't want to pay full price for this if it wasn't graded and you weren't sure. Me, I can pick out errors pretty good. I understand how they work, so I can buy errors pretty fearlessly, but if you have any doubt at all, I would say to you, just buy graded errors, because that way you know they're real. And you can see the sticker price that was on this one. I was able to talk them down a little bit. So what is going to be the price on this one? Well, the bid is going to start at $150, and we're going to do $5 increments on this one because it's over $100. And if you want to buy it now, well, we'll just go with that price right there, $175. So $50 or $150 is where the bid starts. $5 increments. Buy it now at $175. That's exactly what he was asking for this particular note. So that is a fair price to put on there. This one is number 5 on the list for the offset printing error, so put that in next to your bid. That's what I've got for you guys this week. Go ahead and start placing your bids down below. Don't forget to check back throughout the course of the week. If you're putting bids in, some people do like to try to snipe. Check back a couple times just to make sure you still have the bid that you think you do. Or check to make sure that someone didn't buy it now out from under you. That's what I've got for you guys this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.